were Native Black Americans slaves?
Well, technically, hell
no. Were they enslaved?
Yes. Yeah, but we would have to say prisoners of war.
Exactly. Now we're getting into prisoners of war. Now we're getting into the difference between a slave and a prisoner of war. Hey, when your white neighbor's granddaddy got taken by the Viet Cong as a prisoner of war, was he then branded a slave, and the rest of his life he's called a slave, and generations in the future look back on him and say, oh, grandfather was a slave? No, he was a POW. Some of our ancestors, after the Alabama Gold Rush, after Indian removal, they got enslaved in place. Indian removal is 1830s. End of the Civil War is 1865. So miss me with this roots color purple fantasy of our ancestors being slaves for hundreds of years. The indigenous melanated black folks in the Southeast who were enslaved in place 30 years until the end of the Civil War and emancipation. And then, don't get it twisted, they kind of get re-enslaved under a new system, which is why I bought this book, Slavery by Another Name. Oh, we're prisoners of war for a period of time. And that's exactly what happened. Otherwise, we'd be slaves right now.
Yeah, they got systems like Black Humento and many of these African Mijorao La Raza Limpieza de Sangre, and Africans got xenophobia towards other Africans. And it's crazy how you got East Africans and Northeast Africans trying to talk about us and side with the YTs, the natives, and the Latinos that come at us, even though they ain't got nothing to do with the so-called transatlantic slave trade. If they say we did come from Africa, we wouldn't even be a part of those people's ethnic groups. Only the West Central Africans ones, right? But the West Central African ones, they align with these people because they really want to get a bag up out of us.
Hey, I'd be down for some Pan-Africanism if, for one, we actually had African roots. Failed there. But for two, if it was actually reciprocated.
Yeah.
Our ancestors all through the 70s, 80s, and 90s was Pan-Africans, rocking daishinkis, taking trips to Egypt, sponsoring poor little African kids with the bellies, sending them the pen pals and money for Red Cross rights and shit. And we didn't get a damn thing in return, but a bunch of them migrating to our land and disrespecting us and trying to replace us once they got here. And did a performance, and Saudi Arabia is doing bad stuff to Africa. And I'm just thinking, why the fuck do we care what Saudi Arabia is doing to Africa? Not our people, not our problem.
Exactly. And Israel's doing the same thing to Africa too. Like
we're supposed to take on the world's problems. We're supposed to be putting on a cake for some fucking Africans who are trying to cosplay our culture and come over here and fuck up our country.
The indigenous paradigm is tied into land deeds, affidavits, probate claims, and all that, right? Whereas FBA and Solon has none of that. It's just a slogan.
What the fuck is a foundational Black American? Hey, motherfuckers is reclassifying us again. And then if you look into it, they got the flag 1526. You go to the official FBA.com website. They talking about foundational Black Americans. Matter of fact, why am I telling you this? Let me show you this. 6, right? 1526. Well, what is so significant? Oh, look, they're selling it on Amazon. They got foundational Black American Black History Month posters, okay? Here we go. In 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllon brought the first documented enslaved Black people. You mean Africans? You mean Africans. In 1526, Spanish colonizer Lucas Vasquez de Ayllon brought the first documented enslaved Africans to the shore of what is now South Carolina and the Georgia coastline. No, we don't know that because this is poor scholarship and this is a confusing, asinine, historically incorrect post on their website. That's why we don't know. Come on. My ancestors have been here way before 1526. Yep. A lot of your ancestors have been here way before 1526. We didn't start in North America being trafficked here by the Spanish. Saturn says, why doesn't Tariq doesn't want to push us being Indians that we are? Because he's a grifter. And a lot of people allege that he's on the take in the sense that he's paid controlled opposition. In his own broadcast, he talks about working with the federal government since the 90s to help take down pimps and drugs. I mean, the nigga don't even give you his real name. Tariq Nasheed is a stage name. He went from being a rapper in the 90s, then he turned into a Mac pickup artist, then he turned into a Pan-African. Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are Pan-African films. He was the biggest Pan-African when that was the hot thing to be. And now he shifted into like a reparations talk / foundational Black American thing that really was him just ripping off the ADOS. He went to Yvette Carnell's event. Their group was ADOS, Americans Descendants of Slavery. He went there. He saw the blueprint. He said, I think I want to make my own little thing. And next thing you know, he's talking about foundational Black Americans. Mm-hmm. And if you actually check out his content surrounding it, it's not based on history. They're not getting into literature. They're not getting into education. It's basically a Yo Mama jokes roast session between Black Americans and immigrants. Why is it the only time the motherfucker made documentary films about history, it was on that Pan-African shit? Same reason why Umar Johnson doesn't talk about us being indigenous, because they get paid promoting the fuck shit they promote. But when you're in the middle of the COINTELPRO, a lot of people don't realize it. There's a reason why Umar Johnson has never been arrested or charged for scamming our community out of millions of dollars, claiming to build a school that's never going to be built. Damn, 7 Arrow said, or FBA is Federal Bureau of Africans. And I have no malice or contempt for the people in the community who are falling for the okie doke, who have never seen the FBA flag before, who haven't gone to the website and read that dumb shit about 1526. I feel you, because I was in your shoes not too long ago. Like last year, I was like, oh yeah, we're foundational Black Americans. I mean, the whole time I know I'm an American Indian, I got tribal citizenship, right? But I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. We're delineating, and yeah, Africans are disrespecting us and cosplaying us, right? And then after like 2 weeks of listening to his Twitter spaces, I saw the writing on the wall.
We did not go through an ethnogenesis. How many Africans is on your family tree?
Yeah, and again, that's a talking point from Tariq Nasheed, because Tariq Nasheed just basically did a new Pan-African movement, but it's like based on delineating American Africans, Africans who've been in America for generations versus new recent African migrants. I mean, he's just muddying the waters. And ethnogenesis means you came from another country, you came from another people, and through time you've morphed or turned into something new. Guess what? Unless you got Africans on your family tree that you can name, and you know the country in Africa they came from and the means in which they came here, you haven't undergone an ethnogenesis. Why is it motherfuckers who don't even know about their own people want to question ours? Talking about, are indigenous Black Americans running this country? Yes, we've always ran this country. We are the heartbeat. We are the culture. We are the influence. We change our vernacular every few months and the rest of the world mimics it. We are the blueprint. Yes, we run this country. Not a flex for one of us to be working for our colonizer.